You are listening to Ras Temari Radio, Offense Necessary, where we discuss everything but politics. Welcome a new guest, our friend DJ Kamis.
Hey, how are you? It's DJ Kam.
DJ Kam.
Yeah.
Isn't Kam short for Kamis?
Yeah, it's a shortcut of the real name, but it's called Kam.
Thanks so much for being here.
Yeah.
We really appreciate having you on.
Thank you. No, thank you for having me. Actually, it's an honor for me to discuss some stuff that we need to be discussed actually.
For sure.
And I love the idea you guys doing, and thanks. I just wanted to be a part of it.
Thanks. And we have Iman returning as well.
Hello.
Iman.
I hope you're not bored of me by now. Are you?
Well, if they're bored of you, what do they think? Man, how long ago did they get bored of me?
Well, they're not yet bored, but they are about to be.
About to be?
Within 15 minutes.
How many episodes does it take for people to get bored of me? All right.
So thanks to both of you for being here. DJ Kamis, tell us a little bit about your background. This is the first time you come on here. Background as a musician.
All right. So I came from Dubai originally, and I have this love for reggae music and the meaning of especially the old music. You know, the lyrics they used to say, the sense it used to make, the lyrics back then. So I just had some love for that, and actually first thing catches my ears is outside what I'm saying, like the Arab world I'm living in, the music is like the blues. I really love the blues music. So from blues I found out something called roots reggae. So for sure Bob Marley was there. So I started to translate what they are saying out of curiosity. It even make my English better, and then it makes sense to me. I want to be like these people when I grow up.
Just hold on for one quick second. In the Arab world, there's blues. Yeah. Blues in Arabic or
no,
like American blues?
No. Like blues in general.
Right.
You know, so
it's a big thing in
the
Arabian world.
It's not a big thing in UAE. I just found out this. Know, when internet was a thing, we used to go in the dial-up age. You know, the dial-up internet I'm talking about.
Right.
So
you're old enough to remember when the internet was first introduced into UAE.
Man, no, I am old, but I've had these days that there were no internet, but when internet was in every house,
right.
I'm talking about. So I come from a mid-range family.
Right.
So when we got this internet connection at home, the access for music was easier.
Right.
But in fact, there is Arabic blues, there is soul Arabic songs. Usually nowadays they are underground. There are a lot of beautiful musicians. So this is the thing I do since I was a young boy, let's say. I search for every country, what they have, what is the best, what is I'm a collector, let's say.
Sure.
I collect since I was a young boy.
So when you first got your whole hands on the internet, what was really interesting to you with all the opportunities, all the information was learning about music.
Yeah, music, how they do this, especially the orchestral people, it was amazing. A lot of people come together to make one song.
Right.
Back then I'm talking about. This is something creative. This is something wow. You understand? Yeah. So I keep watching these people, how they do it. You understand? So till I reach this age, so I've learned a lot from a lot of musicians.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, now, everything I learned, I try to bring it out in a good song, in something with good lyrics. Because have you seen lately, there is no sense in music.
There's no sense.
There's no sense in lyrics.
Even the lyrics, yeah.
Lyrics wise, yeah, there is no much sense actually. There is no message, because art shows. Art is like a school, you are sending messages. If you are an artist, you are talented, and you are using it for yourself, then this is not the purpose of art,
Yeah. You feel differently?
Well, art, I think, is different for different people. And, yeah, when it comes to music, if you're concentrating on the melody or the background, the beats and stuff like that, sometimes lyrics might not matter to you.
Right.
But if you are very interested in the lyrics and, what your message is within music, then I feel that lyrics is very important. And when we come to trap music, now there's not really much lyrics there.
I think a lot of it is the takeover of electronic music has made it such that people.
Yeah.
I mean, lyrics are just it's the sound of the word, but just in general, I think most people, as you said, are more captivated by the music itself and aren't really paying attention to.
Yeah, but the lyrics is very important. I think we've like stopped paying attention to the words that we have to say when we're singing, and it's just like we need to. You know, reggae music has a lot of beautiful lyrics that like empowers you, makes you feel like, you know.
Especially roots.
Yeah, like that's why actually I loved roots, because like there is a like reggae music itself. It has like it's another word. You understand? There is many like how I'll tell you. There is something called raga, for example. All right. So now lately, even reggae music. Well, like what they are talking about mostly. It's not like before. Like now, even each musician talk about himself, not about nation, like they used to be. You understand? So like this is what I'm saying. Like for me, when there is art, when I can do art, why I cannot just send a message through that? If I can paint a nice picture of a sunset, why I will go, paint?
Because you're a singer, right?
Yeah.
Are you a songwriter as well? You write songs?
I write my own songs.
Okay, in Arabic or in English?
I write in English mostly. I write also Arabic, but there is like some lyrics not yet. Like how I'll tell you, like last thing I released is like they call it something like ragamuffin.
Yeah.
It's like an Arabic. I just wanted to try.
Wow, that's cool.
Yeah, so I said I wanted to try. Just the lyrics I wrote.
Are you the first person to do this? I mean.
No, there is Arab reggae musicians, but the thing is, in in the UAE, in the Emirates, we don't have much. We don't have even like for example, for me, I had some struggles making a beat of reggae. You understand? That's why like for me, making a beat with a composer in Ethiopia, it's way easier, and I usually deal with young people, because young people are still talented. You can squeeze them. They have the creativity. Like I'm an old man now, kinda.
Yeah.
So the thing is, a younger person, like 10 years younger than me, if does the beat for me, that's better for me, because the creativity they have.
Sure.
Like we used to have, like me and you, I'm talking about. Like we used to have this, like how I'll tell you, like. A very wild imagination, a very wild mentality that we can add this to that. Like 3 years ago when I came, I wanted to do reggae with the Masenko. I told them I want a Masenko to play live for me. They told me like it's a stupid idea. This is exactly what they told me.
This is when you came here.
Yeah, this is the project I did, but I've been coming here since more than 10 years.
Okay.
So
what brought you here?
Reggae music, kind of.
Okay.
Actually, there is a song by Teddy Afro. It's called Bob Marley. He released it in 2006. So I heard it, and because of that song, it just came to my head. So 2010, I took the first flight to Ethiopia. I just came knowing nothing. I just came. I wanted to see Shashamani, what is going on there. It's not about I'll go, I'm a Rasta, and this. No, it's not about this. I just wanted to see how does people does music. So when I came here on my first trip, I was actually looking at musicians, meeting musicians, being there's like the theater here in Addis. The theater, they used to do amazing shows with orchestras. There is like a place in Piazza. They have amazing jazz nights. And the jazz nights in Piazza, the people were on the stage. They were my age at that time.
Wow.
You understand?
Yeah.
So this is very challenging for me. Why? I want to be there. You understand?
Do they do fully reggae music or just all types of music at the theater?
Oh, theater is they used to do shows music in general. Music in general. When it's when the music is good. Beside the lyrics even. So now everything will become easier with a click of a computer, and you can make some beats. Some people does amazing job. But still, the acoustic instruments will make a lot better sound. As a music. That's why now all of us, if we want to chill or listen to some nice music like this, we'll play something old, where they recorded it with a band.
Yeah.
You understand?
Sure.
Where like not all the sounds are from a computer.
Yeah.
You understand? So at the same point when I said let me do a project in Ethiopia, a song called Ethiopia by me. So this was the idea. The guitarist is a live guitar. So the masinko was live recorded. That makes the music a better taste. I have other songs. It all was made in a computer and stuff. So for me even, as per me, as other people also, like the close people to me, they told me the same thing, like Ethiopia song is way better. While it's the same singer sang, the lyrics, even the songs I sang later, like, you know, like lyrical wise, it's like stronger, kind of strong lyrics, you know. But people loved Ethiopia more because we had live music in it. Because, you know, like, see now, if I speak behind this mic and I'm forced, people will know that I'm forced. You know, this is like it's like a human being. You know, like the way you feel, and you speak it, you sing it, you say it, even a poetry or whatever. It will be, you know, people can see, like, can feel you through the speakers. So if you bring a good musical work and you put a good lyrics on it, that's an amazing work.
Yeah.
So this is why I do music. Actually, not I don't want to be famous. I don't want to be the next Justin Bieber. It's just like I want people to know what I'm saying, not to know who I am. You know, like
Sure.
yeah,
You want to
like,
hear what you have to
exactly,
express.
because like
It's not about you.
it's kind of like I feel it's like a purpose. You know, like this is my purpose here. Since I have this, I can write this stuff, and there's people who listens. Then why not, you know, try to do something good, try to send something good vibe, good, you know, our positive thing.
Something uplifting.
Exactly,
yeah.
you know, uplifting, like waking people up, you know, because like lately, have you seen, like, you know, it's like, I don't want to say a bad word, but I don't know how to say it, like screwed up, let's say. The word is screwed up lately.
Yeah.
So my songs, it's kind of telling people, like, you know.
Do you
this
think
is
there's
how it
any
should
way,
be.
there's a comeback of like more conscious lyrics?
Well, actually, nowadays, like it's been, let's say a year, people starting actually to realize that they were being fooled. Even like, you know, like, sadly to say this, but there's even music are used to brainwash people, you know?
Yeah.
You know, like nobody cared about money much as they care now. People, what I'm saying, you understand?
Yeah.
Like, look at our grandfathers, you know, like they were like nice, simple life, everything is cool, and you know they were a greater men than us.
Yeah.
You understand? Like, let's be honest. But now, everyone is like, you know, we want to collect money, we want to, like, you know, buy the best car. Everyone want to have two, three helicopters. I don't know for what. You understand? So
Right.
what is
So
your
that
purpose?
was your mission, but what exactly did you teach yourself in the process to get to there?
Well-
Was it English? Was it lyricism in general? Was it the technical aspect?
We'll see. Let's start from English, actually, because like even when I was in school, you know, I studied in a normal, humble school. We didn't actually have a good English teaching by then. So like, it was all right English, but for me, I used to translate like Tupac songs, DMX. I'm a big fan. You understand?
Into Arabic?
Yeah, I translate them. I want to know what they are
Wow.
saying.
Yeah.
You know, like
I'd like
what-
to hear Tupac. You know,
No,
Dear
it's-
Mama
it's-
in Arabic.
It's not about hearing in Arabic, but
Yeah,
like
yeah.
there is some like you know, by time you know more English.
Right, you get the
I
meaning of
wasn't
it.
like
Okay, yeah.
blank zero. Like
Gotcha.
for example, I know the word deer.
You were
like,
translating for yourself.
Yeah,
Right, right.
exactly. For me to know what is this
Sure.
person saying, what is their message. So.
But what intrigued you before you understood the meaning? There must have been something outside of the meaning that intrigued you enough to try to translate it for yourself. Like, was it Tupac's voice? Was it the music? Or
No, actually, Tupac. The thing is, like how I told you, I grew up. There is in my neighborhood, for example, where I was, where I grew up. Like in my neighborhood, there is people listening to Tupac a lot. You know, that older than me. They listen to Tupac and they will keep telling you about his story. You know, especially that Tupac died in the early 90s, and I was like just a young boy, you know, like a kid. So when I grew up, you know, this guy, he's like, this is his story, and Snoop Dogg is a big thing as well in Dubai. So even DMX, Tupac, and the Eazy-E, you know, Biggie, and you know, like the East Coast and the West Coast thingy, People like the East Coast and West Coast when they used to like
Right.
beef each other and stuff.
I've heard that even here in the 90s in clubs, you heard this? I think I may have mentioned this to you. In the 90s in clubs in Addis Ababa, where there were a handful of like hip hop clubs where there were clashes between the pro East Coast and the pro West Coast guys in Addis Ababa in the 90s, which is hard to really fathom, but that's how big a thing it was even here.
For us, no, actually. It didn't go like this far, but there is like a lot of people listening, and you know, like they will, like it's interesting, you know, to hear like for example Tupac's story. Tupac is like is a champion. You understand? Tupac he put all his life on a risk, and he was singing, waking up people, making peace. In his rap, he's upset. Like Tupac is something like, you know, like when you say enough, and nobody is listening to you, so you have to fight back. Something like this. This is what Tupac did. So
through his music too.
yeah.
Like
So yeah, that's why like you know it's like this is why what the NWA said. They said like we are fighting back musically, actually, because the enough they used to say. No, but it's like you are not heard anymore. You understand? So a lot of people will tell you like, oh, let go. It's like life is already screwed up. You know, like this, like that. No, like you know, one person can change many things. You know,
I agree. And it's worth noting. I mentioned this outside that I looked at my calendar today and saw that it was March 9th, 2022, which means that today is the 25th anniversary of the passing of Biggie Smalls.
That's a really like, you know, that's like this is a sad thing, you know, like when you lose a musician like this, that's really a sad thing.
Yeah, but it's also the 25th anniversary of kind of the end of that era of like you know, East Coast, West Coast, what we were just talking about. It pretty much ended when Biggie died, and everybody was like, okay, this just went way too far.
But look, now like, you know, like I DJ, you know, I DJ nowadays here in Ethiopia. I've DJed in, you know, like some other countries. Right. And Biggie Smalls' music still alive till today.
Sure.
You understand?
Do you have a favorite? Either of you have a favorite Biggie Smalls song?
I cannot think of something, but wait.
I kind of like Give Me the Loot, personally. You remember Give Me the Loot?
Yeah, for sure.
That one stands
out. Yeah, that was nice. But come on, like I told you, like, you know, like now if I
party and bullshit.
Exactly, like, you know, but like for example, you cannot ask like a favorite of Tupac, for example, because you cannot like choose one.
Changes is mine.
Yeah, okay, Changes is, but
you really?
You see, this is
that one is so overplayed. It's a great song, but Addis Ababa, I mean, it sort of died down now finally.
Yeah, like,
but
like
in LA too, you
hear
it all the time.
I ain't mad at you. Huh? I ain't mad at you for Tupac.
Oh, that's a good one.
Yeah, you understand, but the thing is, you cannot choose a song. One song for this artist,
right.
because you know, like you cannot choose one song for this artist.
Sorry,
you don't understand. Like the thing is, like this is what I'm saying. Like for me, like I sometimes I really get sensitive with the music. If there's a new song, you hear the beat is very nice, and then when the singer starts, he just like start to spit any stuff on the mic.
Yeah.
It's really sad, you understand?
And it's also interesting that, I mean, Tupac has songs like I Ain't Mad at You, for instance, or Changes, where he does the verses. With the chorus, they'll bring somebody in to do a singer, an actual singer, to sing the chorus. And that kind of matters, too. Like, it's kind of as much, I Ain't Mad at You is as much whoever that guy is who sings I Ain't Mad at You, those like, words, as it is Tupac's.
Let me tell you what I'm doing here in Addis Ababa exactly, like specifically what I'm doing. I'm bringing this artist with this artist, this with that.
Right,
we come all together. We make one good song. You know, like I run open mic events. All right. So from open mic event, I will hear people. You know, because like I do vocals. You know, like I mix master. This is like one of the things I did before I sing, before I DJ, the mix mastering. So I know people's voices. You understand? I know like it's like. Not I know more than anyone, but like it's how does it sound to me?
Sure.
You understand? So like, for example, from the last event I have done, we didn't have much people to perform, but there is one voice that caught my ear, and I exchanged number with the guy, and I told him we need to talk later. And we will meet.
Just his voice itself.
Yeah, and we will meet. I will use his voice to put it in, you know, like a director kinda.
Sure.
Like I'm photoshopping.
Sure, almost like you're casting the.
Exactly,
the singers,
like not casting, but you know, it's. any song, it starts with an idea.
Right.
So if you go with it one by one, you did it like the right way. You try to the maximum, and you will earn people love. It's not like you do a song in one day and whoa, like the fastest thing is no. Like the more you try, the more you get better. Actually, like you teach yourself stuff.
Yeah.
I have a question actually. So, like when you look for these kind of artists and try to bring them together, is there like a story in your head or like a subject you want to go for when you hear that musician play an instrument, or like when you hear them sing, like you put them in that box, or it just comes to you the minute you hear the
Exactly.
musician?
Like I don't plan this period. It's just like when I hear it, it just hits in the, it's just like something. Tling, it's like this, like the idea is there. So for me, when I feel this is good, I will just go for it as long as there's no harm. You understand? Like this is actually like even in life, whatever you want to do with no harm. The first thing you feel is right is the thing. It's like it will never let you down. But if there is no harm in it, you harm no yourself, you don't harm no one. It's the thing that this is the sign you are waiting for. So this is how I go with it. It's like when we say go with the flow, that's it. This is what go with the flow.
Yeah.
Awesome.
This is exactly what means goes with the flow. But yeah.
No, it's funny you mentioned when we were talking about great voices and people collaborators, and we were also talking about people who've died from the era of the 90s. Nate Dogg, you remember Nate Dogg?
Yeah, Nate Dogg.
I mean, when they realized, I think the first one was when Nate Dogg did the chorus on Regulators by Warren G. You remember that song, right? Regulators, bro?
I do not know Nate Dogg, isn't that way?
You don't know who that is?
I do not know.
Do you
who that
remember the
is.
song Regulators? I'm sure, if you heard it, I
Sing
mean,
it a little bit.
oh no, I don't think I want to sing. Maybe you should sing because he's an actual singer. Well, we'll listen to it. But
But
for
like,
people,
I would remember.
yeah,
if
you
I
would,
heard
because
a
he did
little
a bunch of those songs where like West Coast rappers or Master P or some of these guys who often collaborated, Snoop Dogg or whatever, he would often do the chorus, and it was just different. It was just different.
Yeah,
like you hear the quality of his voice. It was so like silky smooth. And then
Yeah,
some years ago he passed away.
Nate Dogg was shooted.
Was he shot?
Was he shot? Yeah.
He was shot?
Nate Dogg, you mean the guy with with the Snoop Dogg 24/7, the short guy? Isn't it him? Nate
Is
Dogg.
he short?
He's a bit short.
They're all
Like actually
together.
for Snoop Dogg, everyone is
But
Was
short.
he
know,
like
yeah.
his sidekick?
Yeah, I don't think that
No,
might
it
be
doesn't.
somebody else you're thinking of.
Part
But,
of the clique? Part of...
Kind of, yeah. But I mean, he would
Pop's
often
like-
he would either be. He often did these songs with. He did a song called "Oh No" with Mos Def and Pharoah Monch, but he would often be brought in to do the chorus on these like hip hop
Yeah.
songs, and they were
Yeah,
almost
yeah.
always hits. Because partly, the song would be good, the rapper would be good, but it was really like Nate Dogg would carry it by just singing the vocal, and he wasn't a rapper; he was just an incredible soulful singer. I'm
Like, come on,
surprised people don't know Nate Dogg.
listen to Gangsta's Paradise by
Right.
Polio.
Right, which was
was
taken from a
beautiful.
Stevie Wonder song, right?
Yeah.
That is a
Something else
very
paradise.
beautiful
But
song.
like, come on,
I
the
love that.
chorus.
As the chubby dude, I forget his
the
name.
chorus
yeah.
is the most
Right.
alive, thing until
yeah,
today.
yeah.
That
That singer, I forget his name, but he was
Yeah, like
amazing,
that
yeah.
guy, he's just known with that.
right.
You understand? Even I watched, let's say last month or something, I just saw a video popped on YouTube that
Yeah.
these people, they sang it again live, 2018 or something, and the guy still have it. The chorus.
That
still
same
have
guy.
it. Yeah,
Yeah.
still there. So.
I always thought
This
that
is a nice
Coolio.
thing, Yeah.
I always thought Coolio was one of the more interesting, incidental, he had
I thought
3
he
or
would-
4 big hits.
Yeah,
right? He had
but
that
I thought
Electric
he would
Slide
do
song.
it till today.
Right. He also had the one where, because there was a brief moment where he and Warren G imitated him. A bunch of people were doing hip hop classical, classical music with hip hop. He did a song called "I'll See You When You Get There." You remember that one? It was a big hit with
Yeah,
Coolio,
yeah.
and it started this whole trend of rappers trying to do production where they added classical music together with hip hop. It was like a brief thing in the late 90s.
Exactly.
But
It was a...
it's surprising that a guy like Coolio was a bit of a goof.
Yeah.
And I mean, even the fact that his name was Coolio, right? But he had like 3 or 4 really solid hits in the 90s that were unexpected.
Like I'm telling you, like now in 2022, if I play Gangsta's Paradise, people will be like singing with the guy.
Yeah.
Even the people who were not born when this song was released. You understand?
And who don't know the
timeless
sequel.
music. There's timeless music.
Yeah.
Or like it doesn't matter at what age you're born. For me, it's like the first thing that comes to mind when it comes to hip hop is like Jay-Z, Kanye West, and Kendrick Lamar.
Yeah.
But Tupac is timeless.
Absolutely.
Like,
I would say, I mean, some of those guys are
NWA
timeless too.
is timeless. It's just like there's timeless music if you have the right type of, melody and the message is really good. It's just like
I'll give you another example from that era. Also very timeless. You remember that song by Looney's "I Got 5 on It"?
Yeah.
So I just recently saw a film that came out a few years ago. Jordan Peele's film Us. This is a horror film about a black family that gets like attacked by this like supernatural like shadow family or whatever. I didn't really understand the movie too well, but what the point was, but. They're listening to "I Got 5 on It" in the car. Jordan Peele's playing this old dad who's like, cool. He's like, this is a classic song. And the kids are like, this is about drugs, right? He's like, no, it's not about drugs. Blah, blah, blah. And then at the end of the film, during the sort of the pinnacle of the action sequence, they do this like classic with interspersed like ballerina dancing, classical version of "I Got 5 on It," like with piano, like in this very cinematic way, and you realize that's how great that song was. Like, speak of timeless, that you could take. You could take that and repackage it as as an action sequence with a classical cover version of a song like that.
Like for example, there is songs like Stevie Wonder new songs. There is people till today they tribute it and they release it as a new songs.
Yeah.
There is like who else? Bill Withers. Like this kind of musicians.
Bill Withers. What were his songs?
He have
Stand By Me, was that it?
Lean on Me.
Lean on Me.
Lean on Me, and there is I Ain't No Sunshine.
Right.
Yeah.
I think he died recently. Right?
Yeah.
He just died recently.
Yeah.
Ain't No Sunshine.
Like Ray Charles, for example. Ray Charles is like, this is my idol.
Sure.
Ray Charles is my idol. Like the song I Got a Woman, it's like, not till today, people will tribute it, and they will sing it again,
sure,
again.
when Jamie and
Kanye West, they did.
Yeah, Jamie and Kanye,
Yeah.
It's the Gold Digger.
Yeah, but still, after they did it, it's still, Ray Charles is different story, man.
It's good.
Yeah.
It's good. It is funny. I mean, I think the new generation I've always had nostalgia for music that I wasn't around for, right? Like, I mean, that I'm around for in that, years later people still play it, but I'm not old enough, none of us here were old enough to be around for when Ray Charles was releasing his hits. But in a way, we're more attached to it, probably because we see it in film or whatever, than stuff that came out, in my experience, at least in my teens and my 20s. I have more, we still have like a nostalgia, we're still kind of, stuck in previous eras, pop culture, especially the music. But I think with music, that's more the case with music than it is with film or with other cultural artifacts.
Not really. Actually, like how I'll tell you, if there is a good song, you will actually learn it from the previous generation. They will tell you, hey, listen, you are listening to this kind of music. Let me show you what we are listening to.
Right.
You understand? So, like, for example, how Bob Marley music is like, it's boom till today. Like if you get someone half my age, play a Bob Marley song for him, he will come on it.
Yeah.
He will sing with it. Even the one that not the very famous one. Like there is like the most famous one, Jamming, One Love, and this. I'm talking about
Coming in from the Cold or something like that. Yeah,
I understand.
There's
like
less known songs,
less known
System.
songs, and still people
amazing.
Sing. You're like, these songs, they like the lyrics. They make sense till today's situation.
Marley's probably had like a good 50 to 100 legitimately great songs. You know what I mean? Just like every album had just. But that was my point, is that we have more of an association with the music of the 60s and 70s than we do with like film.
Exactly.
From 60s and 70s, TV shows.
That the thing is like because song is like 3 to 4 minutes. Let's say back then 7 minutes. All right.
Yeah.
There is a beautiful musical art. There is nice lyrics, which is like you can say it's a poem, you know. And there's like nice lyrics. It makes sense. It touch you because you are in the same situation.
Right.
You understand? They talk about something that everyone in the situation, because when you do a song, you do it for people to listen, not you do it to show off. You understand? So lately music, it's basically not all of it, but a lot of latest music, it's like every singer talks about himself, him crew. I am the best. I'm the richest. You know, I'm the sexiest, and this like.
But see, I would say that, I mean, you mentioned that a couple times, and my thought each time is, I think a lot of that has to do with an issue we mentioned talking about this station and how, you know, Addis Ababa is still emerging. Whether people are less aware of the fact that it's emerging from the opening up of the country 30 some years ago when socialism, because Addis Ababa was in many ways like Pyongyang, like North Korea, you know, in the 80s. Well, I think more and more as people have stopped really associating themselves with ideology, you know, with a political cause, or with you know, the older generation, World War II, the 60s. People have more of an association with some sacrifice to a greater cause or something beyond themselves. Our generation, increasingly, and then I think younger generations. I'm pointing to you as I say that. Younger generations. We have more of an association with wealth generation and every man for themselves kind of thing, and I think that's reflected in the music as well.
Exactly. You know, like since you open up this, like, you know, there is like, how I'll tell you, there is some like, how I'll tell you, like there is something choking people. You know, people want to speak, but they are scared to speak. So
that's interesting.
This, since you said this, actually, this is what I'm saying from since a year or two. I said I will say what people want to say. You understand? It satisfies me. I harm no one, and it's reality. You know, sending a message to people, because when I do, like, it's for me, like I'm talking about myself. Like, I like the concept of how the people before us used to do, like we used to use art, even theater plays, the plays, even the movies, they had a better messages than nowadays. You understand? It's always like in the movies you will see like, be humble. You know, when you see like the poor guy love the rich woman, and her dad doesn't agree because he's broke, he's whatever. Like, you know, like this is like the stories we see in the old movies. So to tell people be humble and stuff. Nowadays, you're like, there is nothing like the stories. There is nothing story, like especially comedy movies, for example. They have the most messages. They used to, nowadays they call it dark comedy.
Yeah.
You know, understand?
Right.
So
people are more and more cynical.
Yeah.
People were saying this. I remember older critics, you know, Roger Ebert and the film critics, were saying this about films in the 90s, in the 80s and 90s. Like, everything is, you know, with postmodernism, everything is about irony. It used to be everything was about existentialism.
Yeah.
Everything was a very sincere, you know, we're faced with what do we do, this sort of moral. And then now everything is just has some kind of joke, has some kind of twist, or some kind of cynicism. I think we're noticing that more too,
like,
as well.
To be honest, like lately movies, it's like a war thing, you know. So this country, they will make a movie that their army is the best. The other country, they will make a movie that their police system is the best. You understand?
Yeah.
And you know, like, you know, these people fighting this one, this one fighting this one, like, you know, like, for example, this Avengers, what the Avengers do, you know? Okay, they are cool, fact, there are people flying and stuff, and that guy is spitting nets from his, like, arm or something, you know? But the point is, like, hey, America, we are the strongest. This is what they want to show people. This is how they brainwash people. So this is, even songs, there is, like, if you go, like, look, don't look about like just the hits. Look about other musicians, other countries. Everyone will praise, for example, the army, the thing, that. Like, for example, I have a new song coming soon. It says, how you call for peace by holding a gun. How you call for peace killing daughter and son. It doesn't make sense.
Yeah.
You know, you don't buy gun to make peace. You understand?
Yeah, I wish, you know, given some of the stuff that's happening internationally, with a certain conflict that's happening, you know, involving Russia and the United States, but both sides and Ukraine, that all sides could could accept that idea too. That like you can't always call for peace and complain about somebody else's aggression when you're willing to join in as well.
I know. Yeah.
Like what
You
really comes to mind for me is just like the shift in our generation has been like everybody's more individualized now. Like they really want to make themselves the best, their country the best. It's just all about the individual, when in the past it was more about service, about the nation, about the family, you know, what you're trying to create. It's not just about the riches. Even material wealth has become such a big thing now. Like it's as if you can't be happy if you don't have, you know, a bunch of money in the bank, or like if you don't have big houses, you're not gonna be happy. That's the message like we got after a while. Because like in my generation, I've had this conversation with a lot of people, and it's that we were told that we were supposed to work, you know, learn and then work, and then we'd get like a bunch of money, and that's happiness. That's what it means.
Exactly. See, if everyone knows what's enough for him and just take what enough, everyone else will eat. You understand? Like if there is a basket has like 7 bananas, you know, and 1 banana can fill you up, don't take 2.
But see,
usually people, this is what they do. They take 3 bananas, so for them to be okay, and others will suffer.
But see, I'm with that. There's only a certain number of bananas in the basket. But what neoliberalism and what sort of extremist form of capitalism, you know, there was a film in the 80s called Wall Street. Yeah. Where the guy gives a speech, greed is good, which is basically the old idea of the virtue of selfishness, right? The capitalism, the greed, the individualism is good, because the idea is there is no one basket with 7 bananas. There's multiple baskets, or the idea is by being greedy, by everybody wanting to take more bananas, you end up increasing the number of bananas, or increasing the basket itself. And so I think neoliberalism and kind of the breakdown of the state and the breakdown of structures, of social structures, or the refusal to acknowledge structures, we saw in the 80s and in the 90s, and slowly but surely has come to this country. And any number of places, not just here, but any number of places. That's also what's, you know what I mean? It's the politics, it's the economics that's fueling our mindset that's now reflected in our arts.
Like mostly movies. Like as I told you, each movie from each country, they just like especially lately, they just reflect what their, you know, like what are the politics is, like what is the system in this country.
Art life,
that's why like when I give you an example about like US movies, like, you know, police is the best, army is the strongest, you know, like they have nothing else to do.
Sure. A friend of ours actually on the show, Kudus, who did a couple of the early episodes, he's a filmmaker. He was pointing out, you know, there used to be a lot of cop movies. And there used to be a lot of movies glorifying cops, like Dirty Harry, or even, you know, Bad Boys. You remember Bad Boys? Yeah. You remember, like where the cops who who are willing to bend the law a little bit and rough and tumble, and glorification of not just police, but police who play dirty a little bit. And that is gone. That genre is
exactly.
I was pointing to a film a couple, you know, when Timothy was on, called The French Connection, which 50 years ago, you know, so 25 years ago, Biggie passed away this month, or today. 50 years ago this month, you had, it was the first R-rated film to win Best Picture. It was a rough and tumble, hard-boiled film. There were a couple meanings to the idea of French Connection, but on the poster of that film, Gene Hackman, the main character, who's a openly racist asshole, not a good guy, an anti-hero. We're not supposed to think he's a good guy, but he's chasing this guy, his famous car chase scene where he's chasing a guy on an elevator, a French drug dealer. And as the guy's running away, unarmed man, a criminal, but an unarmed suspect, he shoots him in the back. And they put that on the poster of the movie. And the audience is... Now, at some point, the film makes you realize that this guy is a horrible person. And that you feel badly for rooting for him. But still, they still put that on the poster of the movie that won Best Picture 50 years ago. A racist cop shooting an unarmed man who's fleeing the scene in the back, right? And that's just doesn't happen.
But this is what I said when we started. I told you, like, art, it should be a message. Like, you know, if you are an artist, it's not about musician, painter, whatever. Like, artist, you know, art, it's made to educate people, not to brainwash people.
Right.
You understand? So education can go like both, you know, education them to tell them the truth, to tell them like how is life, like, you know, how is life, how is everything, how is like this and that. Now, if anyone outside the US, for example, ask him where is the dream place you want to live and die at, they will tell you US. Why? The police are cool, the army is the best, everyone is rich. This is because
From
this
the
is what
movies.
this is from
Yeah,
the
yeah.
movies.
Cultural
and-
imperialism.
Exactly,
yeah,
you know. But
that's what people like about America is what they see in the movies and the music. That's the association, and that
The media,
expands their
yeah.
that expands
you
their
know.
sphere of influence.
So like, if art was used better,
Yeah.
you know, to show, for example, like now, for example, nowadays people came to know that America is the real criminal. You know, understand? You know, nowadays they know. But for example, many like since the 80s, musicians used to say that. You understand?
Yeah.
Other movies used to say that, but we don't, like, nobody realized, and most of them were killed, mysteriously died. All right, these people, if they are alive today, they will be killed and mysteriously died again.
Yeah.
You understand?
It's
In the way
funny
that Tupac
because a
or
lot
Biggie
of
did.
people go to America to like start their music career and be famous, and I think because Billboard is something we pay attention to more than anything.
It's
Like
the media.
American
It's the media.
Billboard.
It's the media.
Like if you make it on the Billboard, then you know.
Right.
Yeah, like
Popular
if
culture.
you like,
Mainstream.
it's commercial, you know, like it's the commercials, like how what does it tell you, the commercial, you know, understand? Like the thing is, what if you go, like, if you will go to the US, you go to the UK, you go to whatever, you know, the best land in the whole earth. If you don't work, you won't make it. You understand? There is no opportunity will come to your couch at home. Opportunities are outside. You understand? So for me now, look at me. Like, I came from Dubai. I'm in Ethiopia. All right. So everyone, like, here, I'm sorry to say this, but Dubai, I want to go there. I want to go there. But if I do what I'm doing here in Dubai, I will have the same life. You understand? But for me, I choose here because there is more musicians. There is, like, I love music here. You understand? I love making music here. The vibe. I say this in my song also. The people are amazing here. Comparing
Well,
to everywhere.
because also
To a
I
lot of
noticed,
places.
especially compared to the U.S., is that people in the U.S. are I don't mean to disparage America in general. I don't hate America or anything, but there is a kind of like an obnoxiousness, like a bland obnoxiousness, and that goes back to what we were talking
people
about.
need to be waking up.
But see, that's what it is. It's they have this propaganda from cable television that they're exposed to all the time, and they kept in these these cocoons. We were talking about this with Iman last episode as well. But like getting back to when we're talking about film and how this is a reflection of art. One thing that happened in the 80s is you had the emergence, along with neoliberalism, under Reagan and Thatcher and all that, you had this conscious effort at what they call the creation of the military entertainment complex. The military entertainment complex, where, the movie Top Gun from the 80s? You know that movie was partially funded by the U.S. military?
It's everywhere.
Right. I mean, they literally are creating propaganda films in Hollywood, and they did this consciously because after Vietnam and after the whole debacle in Iran, the American military and militarism had really lost its... And so the older generation in the U.S. is a little more skeptical, a little more detached to the military. The people who grew up like me in the 80s and 90s with G.I. Joe and Top Gun and all that think there's nothing more sacred than military, that you're not allowed to ever question. It's the coolest thing. And they project their own ego onto the fact that they have this like badass cool military, and it's incredibly wasteful too, the amount of spending that goes into it. But it's a very conscious way of like brainwashing the people into the love of militarism using the arts, using the entertainment.
Exactly, because art is very powerful. Yeah, it's very powerful. I can paint a nice photo. I told you of a sunset, and give you that. Like good feel about the photo, and I can paint, someone is slaughtering another one. You understand? And give you that fear, So art is a message. So if you don't do it right, you are still an artist, but you are not doing real art. Let's say. Yeah. You understand? Like, for example, as you said, people, we are a bit like. Ignorant about what's happening around, we just follow the propaganda. Right. Mostly people. So this is exactly what I say in my music. People wake up.
Yeah, it's also easier to get to people's emotions and their feelings through art, right? Yeah. So if you could trigger the emotional aspect of someone, then like you could trigger something that you want them to hear. Like I wanted to ask you this question. From reggae roots music here in Ethiopia, who would you say is just like the person that like struck you the most, or the one you really liked first when you got here?
Like locally, you mean?
Yes,
Musicians.
musician. Yeah.
Why you need to ask
Reggae.
me this question?
Specifically. Or the
Well,
message.
it will
and the
be shocking
lyrics.
for you that I don't listen to a lot of reggae. Even though I sing reggae, I have dreadlocks and stuff, but
What do you listen to, man?
blues.
Still now.
Yeah.
Well,
that-
like old school, like Mississippi
Yeah.
John Hurt and
yeah,
Alan Wolf and stuff.
Yeah,
like that.
B.B. King,
Yeah.
Ray
Yeah.
Charles and stuff. By the way, like, let me tell you this one. Ethiopians have the best jazz I ever listened to.
Ooh, yes.
All right.
Yeah.
So, as a reggae singer in Ethiopia, like, there's nice reggae songs, but I don't consider there is like a specific reggae singer. Because like usually singers in Ethiopia, this is what I've seen. Maybe I might be like I don't have the good knowledge about it, but it's like who sings reggae tomorrow he will sing, like a commercial song. Like for example, what his name? This guy. Oh my God, I forgot his
Heli Roots.
name. No. It's
Johnny
no,
Raga.
not Johnny Raga. Johnny Raga, he sing raga, by the way. There's an old man like.
Sidney Solomon?
Is an old man, bald guy. Abu
Ethiopian?
Bakr.
Oh, okay.
Abdul Khair.
Abdul Khair.
Abdul
Abdul
Khair,
Khair,
yeah.
yeah.
This guy, I liked his reggae songs, but he have some songs that are not really reggae. Understand? So, like reggae singer who sings reggae, a singer sings. That's it, sings.
Okay.
So I don't know like who to say the best, but there is like I know there is many musicians here. They are doing.
And there was
very
a song by, I forget her name, but it was called Saibai. You remember Saibai? A few years ago. What was her name? Anyway, I always forget her name. I always try to ask. There was a beautiful song by a female vocalist in Amharic that could easily have been a chart-topping reggae. Yeah, I remember I heard it in a bar, and then everybody was playing it for a while. It was called Saibai. You really don't remember that? Anyway.
No, you know, like,
occasionally a song will come
you
out.
see,
Yeah.
When I came to Ethiopia, I came to look for this, the one you are saying. There is some songs that we don't know, but they are great.
Some great songs.
You understand?
Yeah.
So this is what I came to find out. You know, like I told you, like there is young artists here. They are amazing. So this is what I came to join these people to enjoy working in music with young people here who really love music, because like you've been in you've lived in the US, yeah, you know, like US, someone from the US or even from Dubai, like at the age of her, for example, you know, even if they were interested in music, but it will not be like here is like people are dedicated, let's say.
Yeah.
You know, they're proud. They believe in what they are doing, even if it's a small job. And this is something I really love. And here, if you want to work on music with people, it's serious. You know, like nobody will act like like I want to go to I have a date today. I have to go to a club. No, music comes first.
Right.
This is what I noticed here with young artists.
Right, it's a job.
And that's why
job.
they make it exactly.
Sure, right.
You know, like there's a song by Queen Omega. Okay, she's a reggae singer. She said in a verse, she said, "Respect to the work at last. If you don't respect the job you are doing, it won't last."
That's why some artists say, you know, because they always say, you know, don't quit your day job, you know, have a fallback. And then some artists will be like, if you don't put all of your eggs in that basket, you'll never do it. Right? Like if you don't just make it such that if I don't succeed in this, I'll literally end up on the street.
Exactly.
Dying of hunger.
Yeah. So you will get serious. Like 2014, this is what happened. You know, 2014, and before that, yeah, I sing here on a stage or something, in small bars and stuff. But I want to do my thing. You know, I used to like cover Bob Marley songs since I was 18. like enough. I want to do my thing, you know. I want to write, I want to produce, I want to do my songs. So 2014 I quit my job. I had a day job, but it was in a music store still. So I quit and I just moved to Ethiopia for like, I just moved. I said, let me see what will happen. I stayed for a year and some, then I went back, then I came back again. 2016 I released a song in UAE, all right, to see how will it be. So yeah, like there were like positive and negative response, which is normal, but still didn't feel it. So 2016 itself, I was in Ethiopia, and there's an idea hit me in the head. Like you asked me this at the beginning, how the music came to your head or something. I went to like one of the Ras Temari houses, and I was like really enjoying the Masinko, and I love the Masinko since day one in Ethiopia, by the way.
Yeah.
So I said, what if like I wrote reggae with this Masinko? It will be like something wow.
Yeah. What is it
This
about
is
the
what I
Masinko? Like that, because you mentioned it a couple times.
That's the sound.
Just the sound, yeah.
The sound is very relaxing.
Is
very
it different, or
satisfying.
did you associate it with other
I
sounds that you play, or was it just
I
something
didn't
new?
hear it before.
Right.
You know? Like there's an Arab in the Arab word. There's a similar to it. It's called the rababa. It looks the same, but sounds a bit different.
Okay.
It's called rababa.
And you like that?
I
before,
like that. Yeah.
So, okay.
Like I also like I haven't. I want to even bring oud. You know, the Arabic oud. I want to like for me I love to show people what I have. For example, I wrote these lyrics. Yeah, I want to tell it to the people. So I'm not the kind of person who will take a phone and like, hey, this is me, la 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 la. So what I do, I make a song to keep there for me, my kids, their kids.
Yeah, this is the difference between an artist and an influencer. You're not the influencer who's on the video.
No, yeah.
Not that there's anything wrong with that, but
exactly.
it's just like, hey,
like for me, it doesn't make sense to like it's in my head, you know. It doesn't make sense if I hold my phone and talk to people, say something that doesn't worth even one birr. You understand?
Yeah.
You know, like if you want to open your mouth, it's rather you say something good or just like keep your mouth shut.
Yeah.
You understand? Like if you will open your mouth like and say, here, look at my life, look at my life, and this is what I did, this is what I did. No, like show us the outcome. You understand? Like your struggle, nobody will care about your struggle. People will care about the outcome. So if the outcome came out of a struggle, people will feel it in the outcome. Right. Because I have a song that I did the video by myself. All right. I didn't know how to make videos and stuff, so I just tried to do it the most simple I can. All right. And then I released a song after that I hired a videographer and director, makeup artist, models. You understand? Like because I produce my music, like, you know, I spend on it. So until today, the views I got and the one I worked by myself, it's more than the views on the one with the director and everyone. You know, but video-wise, for me, I see this song is nicer, the one we did with the director and stuff. But it's the work I did. You know, that song takes me too long to figure out the video editing and all this stuff. And this coloring, I never done it right until today. I cannot do it right. Anyway, but it shows, you know, like your struggle, you don't need to tell people, hey, I'm struggling, here I'm struggling, because everyone is in a struggle as well. Yeah. So just show us what did you bring out of this struggle. But if you go to the struggle and the struggle will get you, you will be home crying. But if you get something out of the struggle, it will be the best thing you have done.
That's
like
inspiring.
really,
it is
like really, like
artists.
No, this is like this is the way I do it. Really, like this is the way I do it. You understand? Like there are some people, they will worry before the problem happen. You know, like what if I do this? It's risky. It's like if you don't take the risk, you won't know.
And there's nothing in this world that isn't without problems. Especially something worth doing.
It's
actually, worth doing.
I read the other day something. I think it was on Instagram or something like this. He said like a bad day is a lesson, a good day is a memory. You understand? Yeah. So nothing actually to regret. You understand? Like
there shouldn't be.
As I said, like, you know, like if there is something you are going to do, you feel like it's the thing you want to do, just check if you are harming someone. If you're harming no one, then go for it. If,
And it's the old
including
line.
yourself.
It's the old line. There is nothing to fear but fear itself. There's nothing to regret but the time that you spent regretting.
Exactly.
Or
Exactly.
everything else
Like,
you learn. You know, everything else is a learning process. You make a mistake
exactly.
and those are
Like,
learning
if you get a
process.
problem and you just go on your couch, sitting by the corner, cry by yourself or whatever, putting your hand like this, and you will never fix it unless you step forward. You know, like it's even in the religions it says that. You know, all the religions say the same. Like, for example, in the Christianity, they said you shall knock. You know, and the door shall open. For example, like in Islam, there is a verse says like, you know, you work on it, and I will you know, and I will help you. I'll give you a hand in it. This is the God words. You understand? So it's in every religion told you like, don't do this. Like I didn't say this because you know, I'm the one of the thing or that, because this is how is it. This is what I found out, because I used to be that guy who will be like, oh my God. I understand. It doesn't fix like this. Like, oh my God, but move. Go fix it. You understand?
Apparently, you learn from that in of itself.
Exactly. You know, like exactly. Like I'm like, how you call it? I'm an independent man. You know, like I've been through a lot to become who I am now. You understand? Like even like music wise, let's say I was singing here and there since I was 16. I used to take stages when I was 18. Today I'm 34. You understand? All this till 2019, people they were like, you won't never make it. So what they mean by you never make it, I don't know. It's like maybe they mean the fame. I don't want the fame.
Yeah.
I want my
what
song.
exactly is making it? Right? Or is it-
Exactly,
yeah,
you know,
yeah.
because like I am making it already.
Right. I'm
Yeah,
already
for
I'm
me,
already home. Yeah.
for me, I'm making it already. You know,
Right.
I wanted to do my own songs. I wanted to share my own messages to the people, and people will listen to it. And you know, thanks God. Like for example, I have a song. I released it in my channel, and I have like around 56,000 listeners. Even me, I didn't imagine that this much bunch of people will listen to me. Ethiopia song, it has 250k views or stuff. You understand?
Yeah.
Like this is, I told you, like the more you work, the more you earn. It's like this, but you shouldn't work all your life. So you do it smart, don't do it hard.
What do you mean by you shouldn't work all your life?
Yeah, like okay, like you shouldn't work all your life. It's not about, like your life is not about work only. But if you want something, you will work on it. You will work it till you get the one you want. For example, you understand? Because all of us, we deserve a chill sometime, but chill when you are done.
Yeah.
You understand?
Don't
like
leave
earn
anything
it.
for tomorrow.
Everything you want in life, you must earn. So
I like to think of it like-
it tastes better.
Yeah.
It feels better if you earn that thing.
Right. I like to think of it like the old saying: if you find what you love to do, you'll never work another day in your life.
Yeah.
It's not really work if you're really
Yeah.
doing this. Doing this podcast the last few months, we've done all these episodes. You're like, wow, you've accomplished so much. You guys have done so much work, and I'm like, well, aside from certain
You
things
don't
that
feel
are
like
good,
working.
the actual
Yeah,
doing the
it's very
podcast
enjoyable.
is fun to me. Right? This is what I want to do. So.
Exactly. But like now, for example, if you bring someone who doesn't, love this podcast stuff thingy,
Yeah.
it will be very hard for them to do. It's like for example, you cannot put me as a personal assistant in a company and do this paperwork and stuff. I will suck. You understand?
But maybe for some
put
people
me in a
that's
studio, you know?
for some people that's a means to an end, right? Like I had a corporate job for a while, and it
Exactly.
taught me a certain kind of rigor. It taught me exactly what the corporate structure was. It taught me in part that I didn't want to do it. That in of itself is a lesson,
Yeah.
right? This is something I've tried. This is not for me, right?
Exactly.
That it's not wasted time. I learned in that time
You
that
know,
was not worth me.
Exactly.
There's
There's
something, else
for
as
me.
well.
Yeah,
Like
exactly.
people use these corporate jobs to kind of hide themselves, hide their
Yeah.
creativity, thinking that that's the only way that they can get the money that they want or the life that they want. But there's a hidden creative space that's not being,
Wow.
open to the world. Like we need that. There's so much creativity that we're not paying attention to because we're on a desk job.
Right.
Because we're
Although
afraid
some of these corporations, some of these corporations are acknowledging and trying to do something. I mean, Google was one of the first, with some of these young tech startups, some of these other corporations that are more about community projects and that kind of thing, where there's some leeway, or it's actually mandated by Google, and they were one of the first ones to do this, to tell people, to tell their workers, you have to do some individual creative project that you yourself.
That is amazing.
Yeah.
See, because like for me it was different when I was at my job in the past. It's just like, you know, I have a 9 to 5, I go to my 9 to 5, I do my 9 to 5 job, and then I come back and I do work on my poetry, or I sing, or like I do piano. Like these are the things, like it was like a hobby to me.
I will tell you something, but
You know?
but see, like now, with the respect, like, you know, like, but for a person your age, that's normal. We all did that, you know, till you feel like that's it. I can do it from here. But you know, these jobs you are getting, they are boring, they are everything. But a year or two later, you will realize that you have learned a lot. Like,
And then it opens doors to doing things because you have that experience now.
Exactly.
In your 20s, I mean, really, if you amass experience in your 20s, you're way ahead of the curve.
Yeah.
You have professional experience
Like,
in your 20s, you're already ahead of the
collect
curve.
the most you can. Do
Right.
everything. Do everything. Don't be scared, you know, because like, see, you lose nothing, and like, you know, lose is death. So if you don't die, that's it. If you can breathe, if you can move,
That's a good way to put
do. You understand? This is how it is. Like, for example, now,
As long as you're alive, you're winning.
like,
That's what you're basically saying.
in my first job, all right, there's one supervisor I hate the most. All right. So nowadays, I use something to, like, I tell something to people that he used to tell me.
What is
Like,
that?
for example, like, you know, I'll be working hard every day, but there is 2-3 days I'll come late. Then he will be nagging on me. I'll tell him, like, why you didn't thank me for the days I came early? He said, that's your job, to come
that's
early.
right, yeah.
So I was young, you know, like young, and you know, like when you are young,
The
you know,
thank you is the money is your
Yeah.
thank you.
no,
really, like, you don't
it's
need
not,
to be
it's not
thanked
about, it's
for
not
coming
about,
to-
it's not
you know.
about this. It's not
No,
about
but you know what I mean.
like what I meant. What I meant to tell him, like, if you don't thank me for coming early, don't complain about
me
me.
being
Yeah, I mean, that's not how it works.
But then,
No boss is going to
I will
accept
tell you.
that.
I will tell you. Then he told me like this. He said, if I give you the best massage ever, and I slap you after that, will you thank me for the massage, or you will argue?
Am I paying you for the
Because I
massage?
slapped you.
Am I paying you for the massage or am I paying you for the
Yeah,
slap?
he said, yeah, like he said, like, will you thank me on the massage?
kind of massage? Yeah, well,
He said, will
who
you
are
thank me
you?
for the massage, or you will argue regarding the slap first?
Right.
It was convincing, but you know, I was like 22 or something. I was like, no, you, and you know, like everything I said that day, it was like, toot, you know, it's a curses.
Yeah.
And then nowadays, now, you know, like at the 34 now, like, yeah, that guy was right.
Was.
Like, if somebody does his job, that's your job.
Right.
Yeah, if you do extra, I will thank you. But if you do less, I will not say thank
And
you.
also, it's something demeaning to you as yourself if you require other people's approval and other people's applause.
Yeah.
You know, like, you got to, on some level, you do your job because, I mean, we associate this with being a man, but really being an adult, being a professional. Right?
Yeah,
Women
but
too.
by
It's like, I do it because this is who I am, this is what I can do. I don't
Exactly.
require anybody's thank you or applause
Yeah,
to make
yeah.
myself feel
Validation.
good.
But
right? I
you know,
feel good just by the virtue of knowing that I can do what I'm doing.
But you
and I'm
know,
doing
like in the early 20s, we thought that we know it all, we got it all.
Mm-hmm.
You understand? Like everything is under
Listen to
control.
this carefully.
You know, we thought
For
that.
Why?
younger
I-
audience.
That's like, you can curse on this podcast.
Go ahead.
Okay, that's the most fucked up thing that we believed when we were young.
We
When
gotta
you are
figure it
on
out.
the young and when you are in the early 20s, you get nothing together. You are all about a mess up.
But isn't it even more so when you're a teenager or when you're in college that you think you know it all?
Yeah.
And actually, I think I was much more humble, and I realized how little I know and how little I accomplished when I was in my mid-20s. Most of my friends in my mid-20s, including her, sell themselves short. And I'm like, oh my gosh, I haven't done enough, or I don't know enough, blah, blah. And I'm like, dude, you're doing fine for your...
Yeah,
Whereas
nothing.
it's the 17, 18, 19, 20-year-old who hasn't accomplished anything, who has no idea what accomplishment means,
Exactly.
who thinks they know it all.
Exactly.
Right? And that's,
exactly.
yeah.
Yeah, this is the thing, you know, like what do you tell yourself? You understand? Like while ago, when people say like, "Oh, you will never make it," you know, when they told me this, I already made it because I want to put my music for people, and I did. And like, you know, there's people who used to actually tell me like, you'll never make it, you'll never la la la, you'll never, like, few weeks ago I was talking to a friend of mine and he was like, man, well, like, you know, we need more music. Why you are so, you know, like,
Right.
you didn't release anything. And this is the same person who told me you never made it back then.
Oh, wow.
You understand?
Yeah.
So I was upset when he said that. Like,
It's quite
no, you don't
satisfying,
know.
isn't it?
But now,
Yeah.
now actually, if somebody will come tell you like, by the way, this is shit.
Yeah.
This is I don't like. No, what is your point? Give me your point, because actually, like, at this age, I came to know that people know you better than you know yourself.
Really? How so? Like, wow. Okay, this is news to me. This is
No,
news.
really, like,
How is it
like
possible
if,
for
for
people
example,
to
now you and Zodi, for example, you are friends for how long?
A couple of years,
Oh, yeah,
3 years.
but he-
Yeah,
Yeah.
but if, like, he know you more than you know yourself, because you don't see yourself wrong, you know, unless somebody point at, hey, by the way, you do this and this is wrong. This is, I respect people who come tell me this is wrong and this is right.
Okay,
Not
that-
this is
yeah.
wrong and this is fucked up. No, you know, like, this is wrong, but correct me.
But I think also another reason that people, on the flip side, another reason that people beat themselves up or criticize themselves is you are the only one who knows everything you've done wrong. And we've all made a lot of mistakes. We all have a lot of skeletons in our closet.
Yeah, yeah.
We all
No,
have
I'm
secrets.
not talking
But you
about a
know
single
your own,
action, yeah.
and you don't know other people's. So it's an easy way to end up, you know, looking down on
No,
yourself when you should.
it's not about like I'm not talking about like a single action or something.
Right.
Let's say you have a bad habit. You understand? You won't notice till someone tells you.
Sure.
So these
Yeah.
things you have to keep in mind, you know,
Addictions,
and
yeah.
correct it. You know, like, even like, for example, in music wise, if somebody like, for me, when I do music, like, because I mix master by myself at home, I do the production. So I won't send my music to a singer or a musician to judge how is the work. I will send it to a random friend who, like, someone who have nothing to do with the music, because this listener will tell you all about it, because he's like everyone else. Then you will give it to the musician. Then I will see what they said, and I will check again. Is it convincing? Because sometimes, and this happens to me for like, at least, you know, sometimes you take a nice photo. You think it's nice until someone will come and tell you, oh, look at that corner, it's not, this is like, it fucks it up. Then you will notice it. So it's something to do like with the music, with any job. You know, listen to people. If somebody tell you are wrong, tell them, okay, what is right? But there is some people, they will just tell you are wrong just because they want to
Yeah,
say you are wrong.
haters,
So this is negative people. But not everyone will tell you this is wrong is a hater. You understand? But every hater will tell you this is wrong.
That's well put. That's well put. So I think that's a good place for us to stop for now.
Yeah, indeed.
Kam, thank you so much for being
Welcome.
on. I certainly learned a lot.
Yeah,
just
me
listening to
too.
you talk.
Very
And
inspired.
please come back anytime.
Sure.
Anytime. We would like to have you on as a regular. And
After you get your coffee.
yes, yes.
We'll bring
yes,
coffee next time.
I've not
It's
brought
my,
coffee
it's
into
my,
the waiting
it's
room.
my, it's my
Will you-
assignment. I'll
will you
bring
handle
coffee
that?
next
Oh,
time.
that's
Yes,
fantastic.
That's
definitely.
fantastic. Nice.
What
I might
type?
as well
Tomoka?
create
Huh?
Tomoka, you
No,
like
just a
Tomoka?
coffee, just black coffee.
It does-
Without
okay.
promoting no
Cool,
one,
cool, cool,
just
cool,
a black
cool,
coffee
cool.
would do to me.
All right, we'll have the coffee here. And
I have
thank you
to
so
make
much.
sure of that. Thanks so much again for being on here. And thank you, Iman.
Thank
as
you
well.
for having me. It's
Absolutely.
always so much fun.
Absolutely.
Thank you for listening to us, our audience.
It's really an honor to be a guest of yours guys
Hey.
today, and I really enjoyed the talk.
Yeah.
And we shall meet again, sure.
Sure,
Yeah.
sure.
Sure.
You've been listening to Ras Temari Radio, Offense Necessary, where we discuss everything but politics. Having a good one, everybody.
Ras Temari.